opportunity come to me, or an idea for me to create something far beyond my current circumstances and conditions. And I would immediately begin to tell myself that was impossible. I could never be able to do that because I lacked an education. I had no diploma, I had no GED, I was a high school dropout, and high school dropouts don't, own companies, they work for companies. I can remember Thanksgiving 1987 at my mother's house. In attendance, my mother, my stepfather Mike, my grandmother, and Uncle Petey, my two brothers, and my older sister and her husband. During the dinner, I told everyone that I was going to quit my volunteer work I had been doing with an international nonprofit group called the Guardian Angels, and I was going to take the $200 that I had saved, and I was going to buy a used vacuum, a mop bucket, and a wringer, and some cleaning chemicals, and I was gonna go into business for myself. I was gonna start a commercial cleaning business, cleaning offices late at night. As soon as the words left my mouth, it was like a well-designed orchestra, and all you could hear is all the forks kind of just dropping onto the plates. I had no sooner spoken my dream out loud, and they all started in. How are you gonna do that? Where are you gonna get customers? Have you really thought this one through? Do you remember what your bedroom looked like when you were growing up, and you want to go into the cleaning business? Have you lost your mind? And then best of all, my grandmother, the love of my life. I loved my grandmother growing up. She blurts out, "Let's call Ro and see if she can get him in." Ro was my cousin Rose, my Uncle Petey's daughter. And Rose has been working at the post office at the time for like 10 years. And my grandmother's great plan for my life was for me to be a mailman. And maybe my cousin Rose could use her pull to get me a job. And very quickly, my older brother Tom claimed, he just jumped right in. He can't do that. He doesn't even have a GED. He'd never passed the test. Literally, all of this happened, in 30 seconds. And these were supposed to be my partners in belief, right? This was my inner circle. And those same voices and the same meaning of their words would have me question myself and every decision I would make for the next 3.5 years until my mentor, Patrick Hayes. What I learned to do is, as soon as I became aware of those voices, I would cross-examine them like you do in a court of law. Why does Paul have to fail because he dropped out of high school? Isn't it true many people went on to great success in life who failed out of school? Isn't it true that Edison only had a 3-month education? See, you can't afford luxury of a negative idea. I had to begin to reason inductively. As soon as the deductive concept of my negative self-image would begin to express itself. My friends, life is a fight for territory, and you can't give your negative self-belief 1 inch of room in your self-image, in your self-concept, in your spirit, in your heart. I would spend the better part of the next 10 years literally doing battle against every limiting belief I held of myself. Some of them I had to slay every single day. Others would pop up, and just as soon as something good would come into my life, boom, there they were, like a sacred friend. This part of me came to teach me and challenge me to break through by learning how to really reason inductively. I mastered the skill of challenging every one of my limiting beliefs. Had I been a lawyer, I would have been the Perry Mason of positive cross-examination of all lawyers. I would study the lives of successful people, and I would learn all of their failures, all of their shortcomings, all of the challenges, all of the unfair deals that life had thrown their way, and yet they had reached great heights of success. And I would use their lives and their results as evidence against my limiting beliefs.